I've played a lot of disc golf courses, and I can't say I've ever thrown over an old family cemetery from the 1800s. So now let's go toss some plastic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are at somewhere that is truly special in the disc golf world, a little oasis, a hidden gem out here in the woods of Frankfort, Kentucky. We find ourselves at Blue Goose. Currently, the 48th ranked course in the world on UDisc for 2025. And we're starting off with just a jaw-dropping hole one, 375 feet, a lot of room to work with, a good hole to just kind of warm the arm up a little bit, dead straight. I am gonna go with my Firebird, and I am really, really excited to get this round started. Well, that was not a good first throw at all, but it'll be a fun comeback putt. Let's get started. To be honest with you guys, that hole is such a fun throw. I just emptied my entire bag. Pretty much every single disc in my bag is better than our Firebird shot here. We have some absolute park jobs down there. Blast of a hole one. Absolutely a ton of fun. We've left ourselves a very difficult, long downhill, probably around 70 feet for the two. All right, not a bad putt, but now it is very wet out, and we got to pick up all of our discs. For the three, hole two, and it is important to note that there are two 18-hole courses out here. We are playing the yellow or summer layout, 246 feet. As you can see, the basket's looking right at us. We need to kind of hang straight. We need a little bit of a flex shot here. Now, I forgot the Kia and Greta, so I am gonna go with a soft Kotuku. Yep, get in there. Oh, really, really nice shot. I thought we were maybe gonna get a pull tapper there. For the two, hole three, 248 feet. As you can see, we are going uphill quite a ways, and the Kotuku worked last time, so we're just gonna give it another shot. Wow. There's so much clay out here. Last night there was a really big storm. That may have been the loudest tree hit I've ever heard. I mean, it was a horrible tee shot, slipping all over the place, but that was a thunk to remember. After that abysmal tee shot, it's time for us to focus up and get up and down here. Now the footing, yeah, the footing's pretty bad. We have quite a ways to go uphill still. I'm gonna go with my champion Rhino. All right, that'll do just fine. For the three, I wanna talk about an impression. Out here at Blue Goose, this is your hole one. We have this really cool, just kind of handcrafted shelter thing. I'm not entirely sure what you would call it, but it has a ton of character with a beautiful tee pad. All of these pieces of wood over here have different cities, how far away they are, and all kinds of interesting stuff. Very cool, very stand out as far as just your first impression of a course. Hole four, 270 feet. As you can see, we need to get pretty wide out here, and we need a strong left finish. Kind of a tricky pin to reach, and with the massive elevation gain, I'm gonna go with my Orc. Heiser, get over, get over. Don't roll. All right, really nice shot. Not very often do I reach for the Orc on a Heiser shot, but for some reason, it just felt right. Really nice tee shot. Hole 5, and this is a tricky one, 315 feet. You guys should just barely be able to see the top of the basket sticking up with this dead straight lane. Now, it does appear that you could go with some super wide, sharp hyzer shot, but we're gonna try to go right up the gut with our hex. Oh, right into it. It's the same thing I've been talking about with the grip, that I just cannot, it just never recovered from the water. We've landed in a tricky situation here. Now we could just lay up, which we're not gonna do. The other options are to go high and try to get some spike hyzer in there, or try a cheeky little skip shot. That's what I'm gonna do with my splice. Come on. Oh! Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh, I want to make a skip shot so bad. So bad. For the very unsatisfying 3. Hole 6, 345 feet. Now, we are completely blind. The T sign shows it being a hyzer shot, so we're just gonna throw the Wraith up in between these trees and let it do what it wants to do. Obviously, we are gaining a lot in elevation, and a wise person once gave me a piece of advice, and he just said, let it rip, tater chip. Oh, I mean, we got our way up there a bit. A little bit. Let's see what we got. I do feel rather ashamed. I did not do that saying the justice that it deserves, because we still have a long, probably 70-foot putt to an elevated basket. Oh, oh, what a good putt. Man, that's 2 brutal basket hits so far, and we're only on hole 6. Look at this pin location. This is one of the most unique pin locations I've ever seen. I just want to give a fair play to that. Courses like this that have all these subtle pieces of character are my favorite. And that like really caught me off guard while filming. I just kind of turned around, you know, saw it clearly an outline of a person, and the arms are loose, so they move, and I was like, it's getting a little freaked out, okay? Well played, great placement. That's a good one, that's a good one. Hole 7, 260 feet, and we have another elevated basket up there, and if we give it a true run, if we come at it at basket height, we're gonna leave ourselves a long comeback putt. I'm gonna go with my Kotuku. No way. No way. What is going on today? I mean, that looks so perfect. Like, I even had the feeling before I let it go. I was like, something special is about to happen. We needed like 2 more inches of height. What a bummer. Poetic that we have this almost impossible putt after the brutal basket hit. This tree is just right in our way, and there's some little stragglers off to the left. Now I'm gonna try to just putt flat, a lot of spin, hopefully just get through the little guys and get in the basket. Well, see you guys later. If you're still here by, you know, minute 18, I'll still be putting, in case you're wondering. You know, I spent a lot of time trying to make those fancy towels. You'd think that maybe I'd use them, you know? See, that's the upside right there of being 6'5". I can just reach right in there. Hole 8, 457 feet. Now, I've played a lot of disc golf courses, and I can't say I've ever thrown over an old family cemetery from the 1800s. So the basket is way off to the left. This is a different kind of pressure. Don't have a low release. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm telling you guys. That might be bad luck for like 30 years, I think at least. 30 years? I got so in my head about it. We're past it. We made it past it. As far as I'm concerned, that's all that matters. Now we still have about 250 feet to the pin, and we are very pinched off here. I can't really just go at it with a routine backhand, so I have to go with kind of like a flexy turnover sidearm shot. I'm gonna go with my Firebird. Come back, please, come. All right, well, we'll take that. Whoever's putting these scarecrow people up, they need to relax. Okay, it turns out we were throwing to the wrong basket. That's a me problem, not the course problem. There was 3 signs. I didn't see any of them. And we've left ourselves in a very tricky, finicky little approach shot here. I'd guess we're probably around 80 feet. I'm gonna have to do lean out, waka waka, very difficult. Settle down, see you later. Oh my goodness. That's the problem with the P-Walk. If it catches that glide, it's gone. This is sloping downhill. The wood's piled up. I can hardly see the basket. It would be a miracle if we could save this one. Oh, so tricky. So tricky. Hole 9, 212 feet, and this is a tricky one. As you can see in the middle of this fairway here, we have this tree. Now the basket's essentially in line with the tree, so you can go with maybe a forehand or a lefty hyzer shot, or we can go with kind of a flip up or a baby flex on the right side. I'm gonna go with my Envy. Listen. Oh, I think that was close. I'm not exaggerating. I think we just maybe barely went over the top of the basket. I'm not sure how the Envy ended up here, but it's quite tricky. And I've never seen a course do this, and I like it quite a bit. But these like poles, these trunks, tree trunks that are holding the basket up are actually blocking part of the putt, adding obstacles, making it a lot more difficult. I'm not upset about that. I'm not upset about that at all, unless I hit one. Luckily, we got around it. The focus of today's Hole 9 break, I just want to take a second and talk about the importance of disc golf and what it can do and what it means to some people. The owner of this beautiful course, Stefan, relocated from Germany. In the year 2000, he came here to the beautiful city of Frankfurt, and he got a house with a lot of land that needed a lot of work. For nearly 2 decades, he was going through manicuring and creating nature trails through his property, but when the pandemic hit, when COVID-19 hit, he got introduced to the world of disc golf just simply as a gift from his brother-in-law, and from there things really started to transpire. Now eventually Stefan did get 18 baskets from Amazon for $99 each and set up his own little course, invited all his friends, neighbors, family. None of them really had an understanding of the sport, and that went on for about an entire year, and then somebody introduced him to UDisc. That's where the power of the disc golf community really came into play. For somebody who just found himself aimlessly walking down his trails that he's been down 10,000 times, he invested his time and a lot of resources, financial resources, into building something that he would be proud of. And to his surprise, a lot of people showed up and wanted to join him for a round. As most of you know, once that bug bites, it can take over your life quickly. Now Blue Goose is ranked in the top 100. It has 2 courses on it, tee pads, it has all kinds of amazing stuff built around here, and it happened very shortly. And it's so important, guys, that we do support and just give respect to these local courses, because for most of them, 99% of them, they will never even get their initial investment back, let alone all the maintenance and everything else that comes into taking care of these courses. And like a lot of us, myself included, the disc golf passion is never revolved around money. Similar to when I interviewed Bill from Flip City, something that almost started as an accident has grown into something so special. So again, guys, we need to continue to support places like this. And real quickly, if you are enjoying the content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Hop on the website, get yourself a shredder towel, a ton of used discs, anything else, thank you. Hole 10, 209 feet. Very tricky, finicky line here. Kind of reminds me of one of my home courses, Hendo. You can go wider, throw straight, and you need a strong left crash, or you can try to be sneaky about it and get like a nice little flip up down this left side. I'm gonna go with my Rhino. Or you can take my lane of just throwing directly at the trees in the middle of the fairway. So here we are, classic, leaving ourselves in a tricky situation. Very well protected basket. A lot of trees around there. I'd guess we're probably around 85 feet. I'm gonna go with my hammer. Just sneak up there. All right, well, we hit one of those guardian trees. Hopefully we didn't catch some weird roll. For the 3, hole 11, it's only 174 feet. As you can see, we're going slightly downhill, and we just need to hold a baby right turn the entire way. I'm gonna go with my Waka Waka. Oh, no shot. Do you see what I hit? What is that, a string? The P-Walk was perfectly flipped off to the right there, and that just like flipped it to a hyzer. What are the odds of that? I hit that rope right there. It's hanging down. It's holding these two trees together to, I think, make more of an arch, but there's a little tail hanging down. That's just, man, that's brutal. So here's where the Waka Waka left us. A nice little tester putt, probably around 33-ish feet, slightly downhill. I do have this tree I have to contend with, try to give it a nice little hyzer around it. Oh, the baskets. They're not being very friendly to me today, but that's okay. They look good anyway. Hole 12, 207 feet, very hard shot. As you can see, the basket's way uphill, and we do have this low ceiling with the pine tree. You really have to kind of go up in speed and throw it really hard. Probably gonna need some ground play to make it to the basket. I'm gonna go with my Leopard. Oh. All right, after I kind of mowed it over, there's room. You hang up kind of wide and ride. I have probably 25 feet. I got to put this disc on a huge angle to try to get around it. Oh boy. Throughout my entire journey, this is the only course ever that has had and been talked about being a comparison to Flip City. And being a Michigander myself, that's quite the statement. And driving here, I thought it was a ridiculous statement. But after being here for a while, playing most of the course, it's not. It has the very similar feel, the same character, the same environment, absolutely. Hole 13, 283 feet. And we are looking at quite the fairway here. Really sharp, steep incline with a sharp hyzer. Now, it's showing that it's kind of an S-flight. If you did just have the best forehand in the world, this would be a great hole for you, but we don't have that. So I'm just gonna go with my Scepter, just try to skip up there a little bit and see what happens. Well, it didn't really skip, but we are in the middle of the fairway. So here's where the Scepter landed. Now the basket, we have to go with a flick shot. It's really the only way to attack it. This inside lane, we have this little rogue tree that's just kind of growing across. So I'm just gonna pick this bad boy back up, try to give it a real light flick, just try to get up and down for our par. All right, good enough. For the par, hole 14, it's only 174 feet, tunnel shot, way uphill. super protected basket. Now an ace is possible, but there's a lot more heartbreaks than there are aces on this hole. I'm gonna go with my Rhino. Oh, it's so hard. You gotta gamble because you gotta hang out wide and then get that crash. If you go right at it, you have no chance. Well, our gamble didn't pay off. Pretty bad tree kick. Fortunately, this is where the Rhino landed, but fortunately, we have a window here. It's a very tricky putt, about 50 feet elevated, but the trees are not gonna stop us from going in. It will just be our own doing. Nope. Man, that tree 100%. 100% that would have went in without that tree there. What a bummer. What a bummer. Hole 15, pretty standard hyzer shot here. 341 feet. Just hang straight, plenty of room, but get that left finish. If you crash early though, you might find yourself in some brambles. I'm gonna go with my Firebird. Get over. Alrighty, let's go see what we got. Unfortunately, the Firebird needed quite a bit more left finish, so we've left ourselves with a tricky tester putt. This one probably around 42 feet. Yikes. The putting, I think, has just gotten more in my head. It felt great in the beginning, and then you know how it goes. You hit the basket, hit the chain so many times, it starts to wear on you. Little comeback putt to save our par. Much better. Just take a second and look at this property. It's absolutely gorgeous, especially this time of year. A lot of the courses I go to will be, you know, kind of meh. It's the off season, it's not super busy. Not here. Pristine right now, and we had a huge storm last night. It's very impressive. Hole 16, and we've made it to the famous barn dough hole. Get it? It's like a Mando, but it's a barn. 284 feet. We're just trying to get to the opening. That's all we're trying to do. If you don't land in front of it, it's gonna be a scramble. I'm gonna go with my Kotuku. Oh, don't be short. Be perfect. Oh, we were this close. I don't know what we do now. We were so close, just like 2 more feet, and we would have just perfectly swept in there. Time to get creative. Well, well, well. We have officially met our match here. Now I'm gonna assume that this actually is a Mando, but I got 2 discs. And my other question is, for the rule book people, the basket's here, so this would have to be my lie. Do I just throw like this? Is that fine to just throw backwards? I'm not entirely sure. But obviously, we got to chip out here. But I'm gonna try to thread a needle through the side of this barn. Is that in? No way. There's no way, right? There's no way that's in. Oh, what a shot. We deserve it. We deserve that one. For anyone curious, that's the gap I went through right there. With the Kelvin Heimberg jump shot, we went right through there. Fortunately, there is a sign here that says Mando, so that's a bummer. I'm not gonna let it take away from my win. We have a long, low ceiling tester putt for the 3. I have no comment. The baskets are, I got my one. Hole 17, we have a 309-foot blind hyzer shot. Now, I just assume, yeah, it's off to the left because it's a hyzer shot. I'm gonna go with my Kotuku. Wow, look at the wind carrying that for a mile. I don't know if we needed quite that much hyzer. As expected, the Kotuku did not land in the best of locations, but we actually have a very fun little S-putt here, probably around 45 feet. Come on, once. Nope. It's not happening today. And rounding off an absolute blast of a day here at Blue Goose, we have hole 18, 450 feet, climbing way uphill basically the entire way. I'm gonna go with my champion boss. Get up there. All right, that's tough. That's a tough shot. I definitely skied it. The arm wasn't ready for a full bore shot. Let's see what we got. As you can see, we still have a long ways to go and a lot of uphill to go. The elevation on this hole is a lot more than it seems on camera. I would guess maybe around 110 feet. It's the Rhino's time to shine. Oh. Perfect line, didn't have the height. Definitely need to make a spot in my list of top 10. That wraps up today's video out here at Blue Goose. And like I've mentioned in the past, guys, when it comes to these true backyard courses, yes, they are rated a little bit differently, but I'm just gonna come out and say this right now. This course is so much fun that I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Now, for any longtime viewers, you know that number is very rarely thrown about. With over 100 courses filmed, well over 100 courses filmed, that numbers came out less than a handful amount of times. But this, in my opinion, is what disc golf is all about. It's not, there's no crazy bomber shots, there's no 900-foot holes through the woods, wide open. Those courses are great, but this, when I think about true disc golf, I think about having fun, being out in the woods, being secluded, and just a course that everybody can enjoy. Now, with a lot of these other top courses, like I mentioned, those bigger ones, the hard ones, they're great. But if you have a friend who's just getting into it, just starting out, someone playing for the first time, they are not going to enjoy those courses. Even people who just have been playing a long time but can't throw very far, they're just not going to enjoy those courses this much. It doesn't matter your skill level. You can come out here, whether it's your first time or you're a 20-year veteran, and you are just gonna have a blast. There's just character oozing out of this course from hole 1 to hole 18, which is very impressive because it's not that old of a course. There's the suspect scarecrow people in the woods everywhere. There's crazy signs. Each hole has its own name that are funny and relevant to the hole that you're playing. As you could see, the tee pad on hole 1 with the gazebo shelter thing. He has a greenhouse where you can kind of hang out. He's got discs in there. He's got shirts in there. Everything about this place, I could hang out here all week. I could easily just hang out here all week and have a great time. Now, I could nitpick about the tee pads and a few other things, but I think it just adds to it. Honestly, it just adds to this backyard, down-to-earth, enjoyable disc golf. You can't just roll out here and take the day off. I mean, you can, but this course can sneakily kick your butt. There are some tricky lines, tough wooded holes, and you do deal with elevation quite a bit. Ease of play here is great as well. There are signs everywhere pointing you to which tee pad you're going to for which course, and it's nice and smooth. It's nice and smooth. You don't find yourself second guessing anything at all during your round. So if you guys do find yourselves in the Frankfort, Kentucky area, or even going through Kentucky, it is worth it to try to make your trip out here to Blue Goose. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Now it's your turn to go toss some plastic.